Your Eminence, Your Excellences, esteemed guests, it's a great pleasure and an honor to have you all with us today to officially launch Hope for Children CRC Policy Center expansion to the United States, aiming to further grow the organization and support its initiatives that positively affect the lives of so many children. This is a great milestone for Hope for Children, for which the team worked really hard over the past 2 years, and we are delighted that we are here tonight to officially inaugurate our presence in the United States. Before we proceed with our first speech, we would like to pay our respect to the people of the Kingdom of Tonga with a moment of silence following the unprecedented disaster caused by the recent massive volcanic eruption. I would now like to invite Ms. Christina Marquis, board member of Hope for Children USA, to the stage for her opening speech. Christina.
Your Eminence, Your Excellences, honorable guests, today we are brought together by a common vision and dream for all the children of the world to be free from want, hunger, disease, lack of education, and the suffering of violence. We are here for the children, our children, who should be free to dream and free to be their individual selves. This world will be realized only if we work together to ensure that children's fundamental human rights are respected, promoted, and protected. Children have a unique place in our society due to their vulnerability and their special need for unwavering love and protection. In order to ensure the protection of children from any type of violence and neglect, and to help them reach their full potential, we must live up to our positive obligation to ensure respect for every child's fundamental human rights with concrete action. Hope for Children CRC Policy Center is leading the way in achieving this realization. As an international, independent humanitarian organization, we aim to protect and promote the rights of the child and support the meaningful participation of children on local, national, and international levels. Our initiatives and programs are open to all children, regardless of race, color, religion, culture, and national origin. Hope for Children operates to improve the quality of life for socially disadvantaged children through a wide range of services and activities, including provision of legal counsel, psychological and social aid, capacity building, research and advocacy, and promoting education and awareness, among others. Hope for Children's mission is to raise awareness and respect toward all cultures by following the principles and standards of the UN Convention of the Right of the Child. The organization also facilitates partnerships with local, national, and international organizations and institutions to develop policies and programs relevant to protecting and promoting children's rights. Our journey began in 2008 when our founder Joseph came to Cyprus and saw the gaps related to child services and protection. I am first-generation Greek Cypriot American and have had the wonderful privilege to spend many summers in Cyprus. It was an eye-opening moment for me to come there as an international student in 2008 and learn not only from my school, but my peers who had come with their experiences from all over the world. This is where I met Joseph, and I loved to see his drive to help others. Over the years, I was able to see the organization grow, and I admired the work that was being brought to Cyprus and beyond. In the organization's ongoing efforts for the paramount achievement of this realization, it became clear that further expansion was needed. This led to the idea of the establishment of Hope for Children USA. I knew this was something meaningful when I was asked to be involved with the US branch, and I accepted without hesitation. Hope for Children USA was established with the valuable financial assistance of the Patty and Everett B. Birch Foundation. Our mission in the US is to empower the presence of Hope for Children in the field of protection and promotion of the rights of the child through expansion of research, communication, and fundraising initiatives beyond Europe. Specifically, our goals are to coordinate the activities of the organization in the US through the cooperation of international agencies, universities, and other stakeholders. Participate in research and development projects aiming to exchange and identify best practices in the field of child protection between the EU and the US. Serve as a hub to coordinate promotional and fundraising activities targeting private donors in the US. All our actions are dedicated to the improvement of the quality of life of socially disadvantaged children and to the furtherance of capacity building and expertise among professionals through the exchange of knowledge and good practices. We are confident that our presence in the US will highly empower and expand our work. We would like to thank each and every one of you for championing our cause with your presence. Thank you so much.
Now I would like to invite Mr. Kyriacos Papastylianou, President of the Federation of Cypriot American Organizations, to deliver his speech. On behalf of Hope for Children, I would like to also thank the Federation for their valuable support in organizing today's event and for their overall cooperation.
Thank you, Dimitri and Christina. Your Eminence Archbishop Elpidophoros of America, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, good evening. On behalf of the Federation of Cypriot American Organizations, I welcome you to the launching event of Hope for Children here in the US. Hope for Children is a non-profit humanitarian organization established in Cyprus working to protect and promote children's rights, and is the only non-profit organization from Cyprus that has expanded internationally. I congratulate Mr. Joseph Borghese and the founder and the CEO, Hope for Children, and his team for their outstanding work and their continuous effort to protect the welfare of the children. The FCAO understands the importance of prioritizing the welfare and rights of children and are pleased to be given the opportunity to co-host and support this important event. Mr. Joseph, with us tonight, there are diplomats, prominent individuals, and many supporters of our community. I wish if I can recognize all of them, but I will not attempt to do that. So what is important, these individuals have been continuously supporting our community for many years, either with their presence or contributions. And I am sure they will do the same in supporting the establishment of Hope for Children here in the US. Once again, I greatly appreciated everyone attended tonight as we continue to navigate through this pandemic. And lastly, I wanted to thank Mr. Manarides from Cyprus Federation, Ms. Andrea Neocleous, Director of the Humanitarian Division of Hope for Children, for organizing this event, as well as the press here tonight. Thank you. Enjoy the evening.
Thank you, Mr. Papastylianou. The soul of our organization is our people. As such, we have prepared a video to give you a glimpse into our work and all our efforts to safeguard children's rights. I would like now to invite Joseph Rokis, founder of Hope for Children, and Andrea Neocleous, Director of the Humanitarian Division of Hope for Children, to join me on stage for a quick discussion about the organization and its future plans, for which we need your valuable support to bring to life. While Joseph and Andrea take their seats, I would like to give you some brief insights into their background. Joseph Borghese is the founder of the Hope for Children CRC Policy Center. He's also the founder and CEO of Borghese Ventures Limited, a boutique wealth management company, and Punti X365, a company which provides blockchain and AI tech solutions. He was awarded the Cyprus Youth Young Entrepreneurs Award 2019 by the Chamber of Commerce of Cyprus, and he was appointed by His Majesty the King of Tonga as Honorary Consul of the Kingdom of Tonga in the Republic of Cyprus. Moreover, Joseph is elected as the Treasurer of the Cyprus Australian Business Association, and he is co-founder of the Next Generation Technology Institute of European University Cyprus. Andrea Neocleous holds the position of Director of the Humanitarian Division of Hope for Children CRC Policy Center, and she is a board member of Hope for Children CRC Policy Center USA. She is a member of the National Advisory Committee for the Prevention and Combating of Violence in the Family, and a member of the National Council for NI on combating child sexual abuse in Cyprus. Andrea has long experience in managing European and national projects, building partnerships for the implementation of child protection projects, and advocating for policy and law changes. She is responsible for the overall monitoring and coordination of the humanitarian programs for Hope for Children, and she has been a part of the design and setup of all specialized structures for children run by the organization, including the shelters of unaccompanied children and the Children's House for sexual abuse cases. Hi, guys.
Hi, thank you for the introduction.
So before we talk about the future and all the future plans of Hope for Children, let's go back a few years, 14 years closely, and look how it all started. How did you guys decide to establish Hope for Children CRC Policy Center?
The Hope for Children was established in 2008. It was established while I was studying in the university. I found there was a massive gap on children's rights issues in Cyprus. So one of the examples was I was wondering why there was no child helpline. Even though we were in the EU member state, in 2008, we didn't have the child helpline. So I discussed with different international organizations like Council of Europe, Unicef, and they told me if you create an entity, they would support me morally. So with my friends and my professors, we created this organization in 2008 with 2 people. Now we employ full-time, 115 full-time staff members.
Andrea.
I had the chance to see the first stages and experience the first stages of Hope for Children as a volunteer at that time. So I was involved supporting the initiation of different programs, and I have experienced how difficult it was at that time to establish this organization, because Cyprus was also not very familiar with NGOs and what the NGOs can offer to the society. So we had to put a lot of effort to convince, to get access to the system, to the government, and establish cooperations. So it's amazing to see how far we reached.
Definitely, it's an amazing journey you guys have achieved. And talking about achievements, what do you believe are the biggest achievements so far? I'm sure there's so many from today onwards, but from all these 14 years.
I would say 3 very important achievements, which was we managed to create a children's house taking the Icelandic model for handling of sexual abuse against children in a holistic approach. We have all our, the children's house is coordinated by us, staffed by the government. We have government representatives from the Ministry of Health, Social Welfare Services, Police, factory, medical examiner. So it's an all holistic approach in that house. And then we have 2 shelters for unaccompanied children. In the Republic of Cyprus, Cyprus has never ever given such kind of authority for any non-government organization to run. And they trust us, and now we run 2 shelters for unaccompanied children. And also the foster care system, because we have protocol of agreement with welfare services of the Republic, and we work together to foster children in the families. So we have right now almost 400 children in the foster care, which we handle.
Wow. Andrea, what do you consider? Do you have something to add?
That even though every achievement is big for us because we see how it affects children's lives, I would add the fact that we have managed to build up a great team of professionals. We have built up an expertise in different fields related to children's rights, because today, in order to be able to support children, you need to have expertise, training, and special education in order to be able to have quality services. So for us, the fact that we have a team, as Joseph said, more than 100 professionals providing quality services for free to children, all children for free. This is a great achievement.
Indeed it is.
And if I can add one more, in relation to the Children's House that Joseph referred earlier, the fact that children, instead of testifying in court at the moment in Cyprus, they can come at our service, at our premises, at the Children's House, connect through teleconferencing and testify in court, avoiding this traumatizing procedure of being present in the court. And this took a lot of effort, law amendments, and to convince judges to accept this kind of arrangement in order to support children in this way. So this, I would say, is also an important achievement for me.
Well done, well done. And what do you envision for the future? How can we help Hope for Children CRC Policy Center fulfill its future plans? Where do you begin and where do you end? I'm sure there's so many things that you would like to do.
Never ends, yes, there are always needs. But for us, a goal is to be able to have the organization to be financially independent, to ensure its sustainability, long-term sustainability, so that we are able to address all these needs that are increasing in relation to children. We see nowadays, for example, with the pandemic, with the technology, we have all this increase in the violence against children through the internet globally. We want to be in a position to design programs and tools to be able to respond to children's needs.
And one last question, Joseph. What motivates you to keep growing and expanding your activations, Hope for Children's activations?
So organizations' impact on the children. All these years, past 13 years, we have touched more than 30,000 children's lives, and this we see their life has been changed through the impact of the services that organization provide. So this makes us to work harder.
Brilliant. Thank you very much both for everything that you do. I would like to invite His Excellency Dr. Michal Mlynar, Vice President of Unicef, whom we are so proud to have with us tonight, to join Joseph for the unveiling of the plaque to make things official. Your Excellency, Mr. Mlynar, again, it's an honor having you here with us today, and we would like to hear your thoughts.
Thank you very much. Your Eminence, Excellencies, good evening. First of all, congratulations to the Hope for Children, congratulations to Joseph Borghese, congratulations to the Cypriot American organization for this amazing job. And thanks also for bringing us together on this very noble idea and for this very important cause. I can hardly imagine a more important and a more noble cause than supporting the welfare of children, supporting the most vulnerable, those in need, and those who really need our protection. And I think the COVID-19 pandemic teaches us some lessons there, and I hope we all learn. We all learn about resilience and about supporting each other, and about also being more empathetic and more willing to do things which we are not necessarily always ready to do. So I'm really proud to join you this evening on this important occasion. First and foremost, as a father, as a human being, then as ambassador of Slovakia to the United Nations, and recently also in my new capacity as Vice President of the Executive Board of UNICEF. And of course, you know, it is in UNICEF's bloodstream or in UNICEF's DNA to do exactly what you guys are doing. And it's certainly not possible without important partnerships and without synergies like this one, which we need to support and promote. So again, congratulations and best wishes on this journey, which is not new, but on this new chapter of a long-term journey. And I think I can speak on behalf of all of us when I say that we are not only proud to be associated with it, but we will be committed to walking that journey with you as we go on. Allow me just to also focus very shortly on the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, which was not only the first internationally binding treaty promoting human rights of children, but also the document which provided for the highest level of international standards with regard to the protection of children. But of course, that important document would be only, or would remain only, a piece of paper if it wasn't for people like you and for the practical activities that you are devoting yourselves on a daily basis. Slovakia, my own country, is an active supporter of the convention, as we can also evidence by the fact that we played some active role in preparing the third additional protocol on a communications procedure. The 10th anniversary of the signature opening, of which we actually commemorate this year. The UNICEF Executive Board and UNICEF itself really is but an embodiment of the most important work that we can do in the United Nations, and that is promoting and protecting the rights of children and our youth. And we have really been fully committed to that as part of the human rights work, and in terms of the long partnership that also my country, Slovakia, has had with UNICEF. We are still fighting, so to say, our common invisible enemy. We are still in the midst of the pandemic, which doesn't seem to be ready to leave us. And we see negative impacts on our societies and our citizens still on a daily basis. It has exacerbated already unfavorable situation of the most vulnerable groups, including children who have been affected by economic and social consequences of the pandemic. So I really believe that we must pay even more and more detailed attention to these issues and increase our efforts concerning the protection and promotion of human rights of children as critical agents of change, and deal with the challenges they are facing, particularly in terms of poverty, violence, or exploitation, but also malnutrition, inclusive and equitable education challenges at all levels. Last but not least, I would like to highlight the role of children and youth in general and relative discrimination the young generation is facing on the grounds of age. It is our duty as part of our work to ensure a full enjoyment of their rights, not to ignore their role and potential they have, and include them in all processes that they are concerned with, including to the extent possible in decision making. Because as we often say, they are not only the generation of tomorrow, but the generation of tomorrow actually starts today. So I think that further emphasizes the importance of our responsibility and the importance of your work. Congratulations again, and God bless.
Thank you, Your Excellency. To conclude our ceremony, I would like to invite His Eminence Archbishop Elpidophoros of America, who we're also proud to have with us for his speech.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear sisters and brothers, tonight has been a truly moving and inspirational occasion, bringing so many members of our Cypriot and Greek communities together with concerned fellow citizens of the world and so many high-level members of the United Nations diplomatic presence. I am honored to be among all of you, to offer a few words in closing for this most worthy endeavor, the inauguration of the Hope for Children CRC Policy Center in the United States. Hope for Children has had such a positive impact not only on the lives of children around the world, but in raising our shared societal consciousness about their safety and welfare. I am reminded as a clergyman of the words of Jesus, who said, "Whoever receives one such child in my name receives me. And whoever receives me receives not me, but the one who sent me." In the face of every child, we behold the countenance of God, as in a mirror, where we can discern the integrity and the humanity of our lives. How we treat all children is a true measure of any culture and indeed civilization as a whole. Their very vulnerability, their innocence, and their defenselessness are challenges because, as the proverb goes, it takes a village to raise a child. We have to involve every level of our society in the care and protection of our children. And I say our children because their health, their safety, and their welfare is essential to our own. When Jesus spoke of children, he specifically refuted and rebuked his own disciples, saying, "Let the children come to me, and do not hinder them, for to the children belongs the kingdom of heaven." In bringing the children to himself, our Lord Jesus was bringing them into an orbit where love, compassion, caring, and protection were preeminent. And this is the very orbit that Hope for Children creates for the suffering, neglected, and endangered children of the world. One does not even need to be a person of faith or a religious commitment to understand the precious quality of the life of every child. It is innate in our human nature to give shelter and nourishment, physical, emotional, and mental, to children. Therefore, as we close this wonderful and very significant evening, I pray that we will live with even greater commitment and with even greater energy in this honorable and indeed noble cause. Let's polish the mirror of divine love into which we will find our true selves in the eyes of every child who is held and guarded for the life they deserve. May God bless all our endeavors and grant his blessing for the continued success of the Hope for Children. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Eminence, and thank you all again for being here tonight. This is a special event for Hope for Children CRC Policy Center, and we are proud of this achievement. In line with our event slogan, we urge you to give hope a hand, and we would be grateful to receive your donations in order to help us continue safeguarding children's rights.